So today, Monday, December 14th, 2020, a few days after Cyberpunk 2077 has released, developer of the game, CD Projekt Red, has issued a statement, an apology for the game. I'm going to paraphrase it a little bit and cut it short, but basically they said this. First of all, we would like to start by apologizing to you for not showing the game on base last-gen consoles before it premiered, and in consequence, not allowing you to make a more informed decision about your purchase. We should have paid more attention to making it play better on PS4 and Xbox One. Second, we will fix bugs and crashes and improve the overall experience. If you are not pleased with the game on your console and don't want to wait for updates, you can opt to refund your copy. So today, with that statement, we're going to take a look and ask the question with Cyberpunk 2077, what happened? Now, in short, Cyberpunk 2077 has some issues, and it should have spent more time in the oven, straight up. In our Before You Buy, I said that there's a good, interesting game in there that should be easy to get lost in, but it's just obscured with a lot of bugs and glitches and big graphical problems. Now, while we played primarily on PC and had a good time, we did test and notice that especially on base PS4 and Xbox One versions of the game, there's a lot of bad stuff. Low resolution gameplay, blurry textures, very low frame rates, poor performance. It's important to note that statistically, most players are still playing on these consoles. This is even more of an issue when you think about the fact that Cyberpunk 2077 was delayed quite a bit as it got close to the finish line after being worked on for years and years. So if we got our hands on this game before its last formal delay, most people would have only been playing it on a PC or a PS4 or Xbox console, or the pro versions of those consoles. No RTX 3080s or 90s, no PS5s, no Xbox Series X's yet for most people. So that would have made these issues all the more glaring and less excusable. And now that next-gen consoles are out, it doesn't, in our opinion, excuse the fact that people were marketed and sold a game that they knew they would be playing on their PS4 or Xbox One, which they were told about for years up until release. Not to mention, we're still seeing some really impressive and ambitious games run on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, maybe with some slight issues, but not as bad as we've seen here by any means. The next generation of gaming has literally only just started like a couple weeks ago. Now, we don't want to say, though, if you're having a good time with it on a base PS4, we don't want to stop you or dunk on you or anything. You know, we've gotten lots of responses from people saying, hey, why is everyone complaining? I'm enjoying it just fine on my original Xbox One or original PlayStation 4. If that's you, fine, man. No need to get defensive. That's cool. This, of course, has been incredibly divisive. We've seen people defending the game. We've seen people attacking the game. And really, there's a gray area here because everyone has their own experience. Everyone also has their own tolerance for technical issues and bugs. Maybe if you aren't used to higher frame rate games, or maybe you're only playing on a 720p monitor or TV, you don't mind. We think you deserve better, and we think they're capable of better because we respected CD Projekt Red, so we hold them to a high standard. It's funny though, like I feel like it wouldn't be 2020 if we didn't get a game that released and there was a bunch of controversy and a bunch of people arguing online. It's just how it is now. Because a lot of it sounded awesome. They've made moves to foster goodwill with players, mostly successfully, and this has left a bad taste in our mouths, especially with the reviews process. So CD Projekt Red never showed us what the game looked like on a base console up to release, but not only that, they restricted reviewers given early access to the game just to the PC version. None of us reviewers were able to access the console versions of the game until right up until launch. And the divide between the versions of the game was so drastic, but nobody could really get the word out until after launch, and pre-orders were fulfilled. So really, you, as a player, if you had those consoles, you had no idea how the game would really look or perform on your console until you started playing it. Usually, even for the more secretive game launches, we get a glimpse, you know? And again, it's not just me saying that, because CD Projekt Red legitimately stated it in their apology statement that they held back those versions and held back people seeing those versions. Now, PS4 Pro and Xbox One X versions are more tolerable, and then the improved power of the PlayStation 5 or Series X, if you have those, that helps make it a totally playable game, but still, this is a bummer. It's disappointing. I do think it is very good that CD Projekt Red is offering refunds, especially for physical copies, because we don't know if every physical retailer is gonna honor a refund, but CD Projekt Red will try to do it for you. They said that in their statement. You have to contact them. Of course, we still need to make sure they actually fulfill what they say. Keep on them. And it's not just on individual developers here, this is more likely on higher leadership at the company. There was pressure everywhere on the situation, in all ways, for multiple years. You know, gamers wanted the game. They were teased for so long, clamoring for the game. Then on the business side, there's shareholders. They want results, and quarters and milestones keep coming and going, and maybe for them it was time to just hold their nose and dive in because, well, I guess money. And that doesn't make it right for some players to be left out in the cold. What should they have done? Delayed it one more time and piss people off temporarily, but ultimately avoid controversy? You know, there were pressures coming in from players and shareholders, presumably, so that would have been difficult. Maybe cancel the PS4 base Xbox versions. I've seen some people suggest that. Release the game technically in early access. We're not experts, and we don't really know how corporations make decisions like this, but we wish Cyberpunk just rolled out better because ultimately, like I said, there is a cool game in there worth experiencing. Is it the game to end all games? No, but we think everyone should experience it with a bare minimum but acceptable, playable frame rate, no bugs or crashes, and just not feeling like getting cheated out of something, which some players have vocalized that's how they feel. CD Projekt Red has already released a hotfix for the console versions, and we have noticed some difference with certain things, and it is important to note that in their statement they've laid a roadmap out for substantial patches, starting with a big one in January and then beyond. I think they can fix it for people who are really having big technical issues. We've seen other complex, very pretty games running well, and CD Projekt Red did substantially tweak The Witcher 3 after launch and improved it quite a bit. Cyberpunk 2077 is a game worth saving here, and with the amount sold, we think that they will. But it's important to note that some gamers have short-term memory, so don't forget how this all went down, whether you're playing the game now or you decided to wait, or you got a refund, or maybe you think the game's totally fine and you think people are planning too much. Hey, whoever you are, we're just trying to say here, be informed. That is the most important thing. But of course, now we gotta have some conversation. We wanna hear from you guys in the comments what you think about Cyberpunk 2077. What has your experience been? Have you gotten a refund? Do you love the game? Did you play through the whole thing? Did you decide to hold off and wait a couple months after a couple of patches and maybe save a couple bucks too? That's a good strategy. And do you agree with us that you think that this game is worth saving, and do you think it is in the realm of fixability and should be playable on base PlayStation 4 and Xbox One consoles? Really, we could talk anything Cyberpunk 2077, and we're going to be talking a lot more about this game. So be sure to click the like button and subscribe if you haven't, because we put out videos every single day. And of course, be sure to go back and check out our other Cyberpunk videos, including our Before You Buy, where we show some of the problems, but ultimately compliment a lot of the game. Regardless, thank you guys coming around all the time this year. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.